And sorry, let me repeat that. So when we start understanding we're supposed to be joyful, we're supposed to be doing things that we really enjoy in our life, but sometimes we're overwhelmed, we're burdened. There's so much coming at us that there's no way that we can find space to lean into the idea of joy. But if we change our perspective and we understand that this is about a way of being, there's no finish line when it comes to joy. It's about you really understanding you already have access to it. Even when you're having horrible days, there is things around you that you can be very grateful for, and you can, start to explore, because what happens, it actually compounds, it gets better, it builds upon one joy thing could build upon to another joy thing. So I think there's a lot of overwhelm. There's a lot of things going on in the world right now. So it's easy to get caught up in the frustration, the overwhelm, the anxiety, the worry, all that stuff. But I really want us to make sure that we lean in and we understand that joy is around us all the time. We just have to be able to be open to change the overall perspective. And we're going to talk today about how we can reclaim that today. How can we start bringing joy back into our life today? Not just waiting for special occasions, not waiting for when you're on vacation, or I don't know, Christmas or whatever holiday practice. It's really about understanding it's a lifestyle, and we're supposed to be seeing that on a regular basis. So, what can you do today? How can you look for joy in your life today? So, first and foremost, what I would say is that you want to be present. You want to be present, not worried about the past, not worried about the future. Be present right here, right now. Because when we start to see things differently. Because if you're present, you're starting to build your life for the future. But if you're too caught up in other things, and you're going to miss it, you're going to totally miss it. And we want you to understand that there's stuff all around you. It could be, maybe you have a pet, maybe you have friends or people that you really like hanging out with. Go hang out with them. That will automatically get you distracted from this overwhelm or what you should be doing. You can do those as well, but having joy in your life is very important. It's a very important complement, especially with all the pressures that are going on in the world right now, with more and more and more. We just need to make sure, hi Alicia, we just need to make sure that we are balancing it out. And I think it's really important, because I know with my clients, many of them, I can see that they're in a world of overwhelm. And what we do typically is we mask it. A lot of us mask it and we pretend that that's not going on. So if we can learn how to self-regulate and put ourselves in a position where we're, looking for joy in our life every single day, not just for special occasions, and that is actually a really good thing. And it's not something that you have to plan for. It's here right now. So every time you're truly present, it's a chance to enter into a new opportunity. So I just really want you to think about that today. Now, there's another one, that understanding that um, joy is really in your body. Like, it's a feeling game. It's not mentally thinking things through. Like, how do you feel in your life? Are you happy? Are you joyful? Are you doing things that make you feel good? Or are you doing things that are making you feel less, more frustrated, more jealous, gossipy, all that? That's all low vibrational space. And we don't want you in there. Hello, how are you? We don't want you in there, in that space. I want you in space that is high vibrational, which is really going to attract in really great things, people, places, things. And when we do that, really good things are going to come in. Not because there's a magic force that kicks in. I truly do believe in, law of attraction and all that stuff. But it's more because you've changed and you're looking for different things. So it's very similar when you're buying a new car, and all of a sudden you say, I'm going to buy this car, and then you see that car everywhere. That's because you're tuned in. So you could do the same thing for joy and happiness, right? Things to be grateful for, the blessings that you should be counting in your life. And it doesn't matter. It's in all parts of your life. It could be for family stuff. It could be for work stuff. It could be like with your friends. It's just really having a different awareness. Because with all the stuff that's going on in the world right now, it's it's very there's a lot of noise, and it's very easy to get overwhelmed and to be in anxiety. So that's why when we were talking on my show before, this we were talking about this specific topic, and it really made that impact where people were really appreciating having the friendly reminder of like, okay, I am empowered, I can do this. And like, it can be, what are the things that make you laugh? Are you doing that? Do you like to dance in the kitchen? Do you enjoy doing stuff like twirling around and dancing around in your home when you have your favorite song on? Or is it in the car turning on one of your favorite songs? Oh, it's really about personal development. So I'm an author and I have my own company, the Authentic You Coaching. So I have a ton of people that I help unlock their potential on many different levels. So I help in organizations, but I also help individuals. I run retreats. I do a ton of stuff. So if you want to unlock your best potential, or you might want to see places where you might be blocking yourself emotionally, then this would be this space. It's all personal development, leadership development. Here's my book. This is my book I wrote. So, I've had this channel for a while, but I've never even thought to go on live. And I've made a commitment to myself to go every day, just a little bit. So if it's a little bit of a wisdom nugget, something that someone can take away with, then we're all winning, right? The more people are feeling empowered and doing really great things, I think that that would be really awesome for everyone. And I'm fortunate enough that I can talk about business related leadership stuff, or I can talk about just the self-regulation, the personal development stuff. Okay. So another one is like little baby steps, as in, what are your practices? So do you wake up in the morning? Do you appreciate like having a coffee? Do you do stretching? Do you move your body? What is it? How do you make sure that you're tapped in and tuned into who you are? I think that that is extremely important. And overall, it's authenticity. And that's, I lean into everything, into authenticity, about you getting back to yourself. It's not you being anyone new, it's about you remembering who you are. And when we start to remember who we are, really amazing things happen. You discover a bunch of new gifts, and then you start to do things that you never imagined you could do. So that's why it's really important to recognize that. But leaning into joy is really important to do that, because it allows you to shake off some of that negative stuff, the anxiety, the heaviness. You get to release it. So then you can show up in the world and you're clear, and then you feel confident and you can go and do what you are supposed to do on this planet, which, everyone has tons of amazing gifts. So who knows what will potentially get unlocked there. So why aren't people doing it? Like, it's very easy, but we've been conditioned in a way that only joy happens at certain times, like certain celebrations. But the reality is, joy should be a part of your life all the time. And it could be something simple like having your favorite, for me, I love coffee, having your favorite coffee, sitting with a friend. Like, you want to make sure that you're building your life to have those things in it, because it's going to be very important in order for you to really keep building the momentum of great stuff in your life, instead of the opposite. Because if you aren't, you could be building, your mental health could be going on the decline, you could be more overwhelmed, you could be frustrated, you don't know how to charge yourself back up. And it's very similar to the idea of charging a phone. When we charge it as we go and we see it, it's much better than waiting till it totally depletes and you're burnt out and you've got nothing. And then you got to charge that phone and it takes longer to do that. You know what I mean? So just wanted to put that out there. Now, the reason why I think a lot of us struggle with this is that many of us think that, I'll be happier when all like we put off our joy, we put off our happiness. Who says that it can't be together? Like, why can't be joyful in doing what you do at work, or joyful in, the way you are, and then you're making different healthier choices. That's really up to you. But or sometimes we're putting things off until like our kids get older. Is there ways that we can incorporate things now? Because if we're always waiting for perfect conditions, we may never make a move. And then you're going to move into a place of regret. And you don't want that. That's not very enjoyable. Okay. And sometimes people get confused with joy being around material things and achievement. So, sure. Okay, yes, it's great to achieve great things and you have, these toys, but eventually they will, they'll lose their luster and then you're still chasing. But what if you could build it in where, you know, it's just the simple way of how you live, and the toys are extra, but they don't define who you are. And I think that that's where we get confused sometimes, that we're conditioned that we have to earn our worth. And when we do this, we think that this is how we earn our joy and happiness. But in reality, that doesn't really make sense. But you have to be at the point where you're starting to see that on a deeper level and you're starting to reflect on that, which makes it really great. Okay. So, or we may numb ourselves out. Like, doom scrolling is the worst. You could lose days and times by doom scrolling. And that is usually because you don't know, you're not connected to yourself. The more that you are doing that, and this could trigger people, and that's fine. But like, the more you get stuck on social media and you're scrolling, you scroll, 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 and you're losing time. That is because you're not connected to yourself. You're purposely trying to numb yourself out. And if you do that, if you're numbing yourself out, you're numbing yourself away from you living the life that you're supposed to be living. And it's something interesting to really think about. Like, these Leah's little things are really important to see if you're caught up in it. That's the reason why I always seem to bring up, like, hey, are you caught up in these ones? Because if you're caught up in this, you may want to just bring it to awareness. And I'm a strong believer in the work that I do. When we bring things to awareness, then then we have a choice. We can go, we can do something. Thank you so much. We can do something about it, or we can choose to bury it and hide it. Now, I think the more we can realize how empowered we are to make changes in our life today, so we could be happier and living a life that is a little more fulfilled, is extremely powerful. So I really want you to realize that part of it. Now, sometimes to be joyful, it doesn't feel safe. Some of us have had many situations where, you know, if you're too happy, you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop. You think something's going to happen, something bad will happen, all that stuff. That we have to let that go. We can work through it. But you remember, you're allowed to feel safe and joyful. Like, you can be joyful and still be safe. I think it's really important to understand that combination, because I know I've seen with many people where people get caught up in this idea, like, oh, well, it's going too well. I'm waiting for something to happen. Well, you just circumvented your joy and your happiness in that situation. So we just need to be mindful of that kind of stuff. And some really cool ways that you can, some practical tips before I close out, some practical tips and how you can do that. One, start a joy list. Okay. So it would be, write 5 things. I have one that's ongoing all the time. 5 things of things that give you joy in your life. And you keep it as a log. Maybe it's something you saw on a walk. Maybe it was a phone call. Maybe there was a cool little synchronicity that you saw that got you excited. So if there's stuff like that, log it. And it's not for now. It's for the days where you're having a bit of a low day, that you can just look at it and then it snaps you right back into it. So that is a really great tool to use. And then also, Ask yourself, am I present? Am I seeing the joy that's around me? Maybe it's dogs playing at a park. Maybe it's a beautiful sunrise or a sunset. Maybe it's, I don't know what it could be, but something like out in the nature. There's things everywhere if you take time to actually take a look and be present, not in your head and thinking about a million other things, you'd be very surprised of what you can see. And the last thing I would say, what lights you up? Do one thing for you. Like for me, I love to paint. What do you like to do? Is it like dancing? Is it writing? Is it being creative? Maybe you're a graphic designer, whatever it is. It's whatever really gets you excited and you end up losing time doing is what makes it quite special because joy is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And it's not just one sided. It's like not only for some, it's for everybody, but it's how you choose to show up in the world and how you choose to bring it to light. Okay. And just remember, joy doesn't make you weak. It makes you whole because you were born to be joyful. Like we're supposed to, and it doesn't mean like bad things don't happen in life. It's just how do you handle it? How do you get through it to bring in the next blessings, the next joy, whatever that is for you? So, because we are really meant to live this life and not disappear and not, I hate to say it, like numb out, like it doesn't, we're just going through the motions. That's not living. You got one life to live, like go and take action, get out there, be present, and see and enjoy wonderful things around you. Okay. Well, I just wanted to say thanks. I really appreciate today's chat. And like I said, I'm making my own personal challenge to try and be on here every day, just because I think I'm doing these talks anyways. I have a show Monday to Friday at 7 p.m. And I'm talking about this stuff, and I know what really resonates with people. And I was like, well, I might as well share it with whoever is meant to see it. And I hope that if it found you, I hope there was something in it. And I will talk to you soon. Okay, we'll talk to you later.